Hey guys, Steve Welch here with your fact of the day. Have you ever taken a long flight? I mean, a really long flight. What would you consider a long flight? 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours longer? Well, upgradedpoints.com put together a list of the longest non-stop passenger flights that you can currently take as of the time of making this video, of course, on a commercial airline. So let's go over those. Stay tuned to the end. I've got a couple of additional nuggets at the end for you that's going to expand on this list, but we're going to take them from for the top 10, number 10 down to number 1, number 1 being the longest flight that you can take. So number 10 on this list, it is Houston to Sydney. That's on United Flight 101. It is on a Boeing 787-9. It will take it will cross 8,596 miles and take you 17 hours and 35 minutes to complete the flight. Number 9 is Darwin to London on Qantas. It's flight QF9. It's also on a 787-9. It's 8,620 miles and will take you 17 hours and 55 minutes to complete it. So Bangalore to San Francisco, that's on Air India. That is UA 152 is your flight number, and it is on a 777, so a 777-200LR. LR stands for long range, of course. It is 8,701 miles and will take you approximately 17 hours and 40 minutes as your scheduled flight time. Singapore to Los Angeles is number 7. That's on Singapore Airlines, flight SQ37. That's going to be on an Airbus A350-900 ULR, which stands for ultra long range. It will be 8,770 miles and take you roughly 17 hours and 50 minutes to complete that flight. Number 6 is Dubai to Auckland. Auckland's obviously New Zealand, and that is on Emirates Airlines. So that's EK449. That is also on a 777, so a Boeing 777-200 LR, so the long range there. And it is 8,824 miles, will take you 17 hours and 10 minutes. Number 5 is Auckland, New Zealand to New York JFK. That is flight number NZ1. And that's on a Boeing 787-9, like a lot of these are, of course. That is operated by Air New Zealand, if I hadn't said that yet, and it is 8,828 miles and will take you roughly 17 hours and 50 minutes to complete that flight. Number 4, getting a little longer here, Melbourne to Dallas. All right, that is QF22 for your flight number. It's on a Boeing 787-9. It is 8,992 miles and will take you roughly 17 hours and 35 minutes. So you'll notice the time's a little bit less, but the distance is longer. We're going by distance here, right? So then your number 3 is Perth to London, and that's on Qantas. Flight number is QF9. It's also on a Boeing 787-9. It is 9,010 miles and will take you roughly 17 hours and 15 minutes. Singapore. So, number 2 is Singapore to Newark. So that's flight number SQ21. It's on an Airbus A350-900 ULR, ultra long range. It is 9,523 miles, will take you 18 hours and 45 minutes to complete the flight. And the number 1, the longest flight at the time of making this video for distance is Singapore to New York JFK. Flight number SQ23 on Singapore Airlines. It's also on an Airbus A350-900 ULR ultra long range, 9,537 miles, and would take you 18 hours and 50 minutes if you could sit there long enough to fly that flight. That is a long time to sit anywhere. But like I said, these are all by distance, right? So told you I'd give you a nugget at the end. and here it comes for you guys. So Qantas Airlines has ordered 12 new A350s for 2025 delivery, which are supposed to be even longer range, I guess, from what it sounds like. So they'll be used for Sydney to New York and Sydney to London. They're supposed to have additional fuel tanks in them to extend their range even further. So they should be able to go a very good distance. So both flights, according to the upgradedpoints.com, both flights will top 20 hours and 10,000 miles. So that is going to be pretty interesting. All right, so it should be about 10,000 miles, I guess, but they both top 20 hours of flight time, and that is crazy. So do want to add one other thing too. So you might ask why the flight times could be a little bit less for a longer distance. It just depends on the way they go, but those are scheduled flight times, so it's scheduled by the airline to take that amount of time. That's the amount of time that they referenced here. So what do you guys think? Would you fly for 18 hours, 17 hours, 20 hours? What would you need to do that? Definitely put that in the comments, like, subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Steve Welch, making you just a little bit smarter than you were yesterday with your fact of the day.